Hi everyone, it's Adrian Leah. This is a reading video. I'm filming a little earlier than what I normally do. It's still nighttime, but um, I usually film after midnight. It's around 9 right now, and I just woke up from a nap. I didn't sleep before getting into class, and today we had a quiz and an exam, so I'm happy they went well. I was actually getting sleepy during the exam, so I'm happy it still went well. I got back to the house and ate. I was thinking maybe I would walk around a little bit, like in the mall or something, but it was either going to happen or it wasn't going to happen because um, there was a good chance that I would just be sleepy and not go. So I did fall asleep. I'll start pulling the cards. I'm using a deck that I haven't used on the channel for a while, and it's the Buckland Romani Tarot. This is a deck that I ordered from a Ukrainian Etsy seller, and I'm happy that I got the deck because this one has been out of print. This specific copy is one that was printed after the passing of the creator. So I'm grateful that am able to I'm able to use it because it's been on the list of decks that I wanted to have. And there's two kinds of energies that I get from this reading. One is like something that has come home in a way, where it's almost like the prodigal son type of energy, where the person left and then did all those things that he or she wanted to do and then or needed to do and came back. There could be the instance of it being of a choice, and there is like an aspect of it, even though it might not have been fully like devised of that they would want this and that to happen. um there could have been like the foundation of it where they didn't want that to happen, but they also were doing this, so the other things ended up happening with it. And then the other energy is no place like home. Like that was the type of the the words, or there's no place like home. So a little random, but Skype is not going to be active, and I use Skype and I enjoyed it. I'm not a super tech savvy person. Well, I don't know what you kind of would want from the app, but I liked it. And it's been around for a long time, so I'm kind of surprised that it's not going to be. And I even talked to one of my cousins on there, and he's the main cousin that I keep in touch with too. So I'm happy that they have the teams, and that's another app. I don't really, I didn't understand what that was in the beginning, but um, it's cool that the stuff synced to from the last, well, from Skype. So it's not completely like not there. Since the um, that'll come back to me. But I noticed that there were a lot of obstacle cards that came out. I didn't turn over the cards. Well, since the exams are over, this one at least, I want to get more Ukrainian yarn, and I'm trying not to get like all of the yarn that I'm interested in, but I did want to get one more of the yellow or the light orange because technically the pattern says that I'll need 100 more grams, and they come in 200 grams, and it's inexpensive. Um, but then there's this knitting pattern that's coming out too. I do want to get it tomorrow because when the pattern first comes out, a lot of the times um, the knitwear designer gives like a discount, and right now I'm not doing test knits, so I would usually like do the pattern and like have the satisfaction of doing it, and um, instead of paying for it, that would be the contribution. And you would also get something else, which is most likely another free pattern. Some people might be like, you don't really get much from it. I'm like, well, if you're the steady knitter and you already have the yarn and you don't have a specific plan for the yarn, it's not a bad thing to do, and it's nice, and you help the knitwear designer too, because the patterns definitely add up. I think they've been getting, um, I think like I noticed like the standard in price, which is understandable because there's so much that goes into the patterns. I have a full well, I do have a library of patterns that I have, but um, a cart of different designs that I haven't purchased yet because I wanted to get it at the right time. But um, this one I've been waiting for, and this is a designer, well, a Ukrainian designer that I have test knit for in the past, Because I'm taking my course, I haven't been testing anything, and I really wanted to test knit her last two patterns, which gives me the indication that I'm going to want to test knit other stuff for her in the future. So, um, I'm I'll be excited to do that, and I'm happy that like I'm able to, because sometimes, well, you definitely have to fill out something for, and then they could look at the different test knits that you've done. So sometimes they do want you to have experience with that. And in Teti's patterns, the Ukrainian knitwear designer, um, with the deadlines, it is you have to knit it in a sooner time frame, because I feel like that average is like around 3 months, like maybe 2 months if they're giving you more time. Tetsy gives you 1 month to do it, so I I know that I'll put my focus on her projects when I test it for her again. So I was curious about the obstacle cards, so that's what one of the first couple that I turned over. There's still a lot to do, and it will feel that there might be some more heavy tasks or duties to take on, because you have the Ten of Wands in the future. But this feels like a reassurance card. How to overcome the obstacle is Major Arcana Temperance. The obstacles, Major Arcana Star, with the Two of Cups and the Page of Cups. So more water energy, even though you could associate the star with Aquarius. Aquarius does have, well, the sign is a water bearer, but is technically an air sign. But technically, water and air. So it's almost like trying to find ways of making this as functional as it can be, especially for a time where it can be like busy. It just seems like there's other stuff that needs to be done, and the stuff that you would rather want to. I'm not saying that you don't want to focus on the things that you're doing now, but in terms of maybe relationships, or like if you're headed towards somebody or something that you're like a passion of yours, or love, because well, passion you could associate with wands, but something that you are cherishing, It's doing the what was like prerequisites before actually getting to those meat and potatoes of those things. So the temperance is in the midst of chaos. There's something that blooms or something that it's like divine or angelic that makes it seem that it will balance out in a way because you could see it as like an outer balance and well the justice isn't here but that would be a card that you would normally associate with balance like right from seeing the card but that's like one of the fundamentals of the card and you could definitely get different meanings from the justice card. It the temperance card also feels like there's something that mellows out and I'm just kind of looking at the cover of the box and that's the lovers card in the Hutzel Tarot and this like with the temperance it I feel that it goes with the oracle card archangel oracle card all is well Archangel Jeremiel, everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to. With hidden blessings, you'll soon understand. And I don't feel like it's one of those things where, like, oh, these bad things are just, um, you know, it's, there are difficult things and horrible things that can happen in life. And I feel like the Archangel deck and then the reading is kind of like reassuring, even with the star and the temperance and the star being the obstacle. But then seeing like temperance there, it's like again it mellows out, saying that um, there's something to be realized here. Because even in the past, there's the Six of Wands. So it does feel like, because that's more of a directional card, of things like being on the right track. And it can link to temperance because usually with the Six of Wands, you see like maybe like battle ready people and they came back to their hometown or like they made a stop where they needed to, or there's some type of stage where it's it can almost be seen as a resting stage in some cases because it's coming back to something and it is like a rejuvenating or motivating energy because that you see the reasons of why you need to keep going and maybe it's even getting the signs or hints and maybe that's why like with the cups energy it's still relevant well temperance you can link to Sagittarius, and that's a fire sign. I'm not gonna say that um, it's only for the signs like that are associated with those cards, but all is well. And to prioritize, so this is your focusing card, Archangel Metatron. Focus on your higher priorities. I'll help you get organized and motivated. And it just kind of feels like I know you're tired and I know you just there'd be other things that would be so great that you could do if this giant boulder or thing that needed to be done wasn't so like if you stopped it or if um if you stopped doing what you were doing it would just kind of feel almost catastrophic in some way. It's like keeping up with those things to make sure that things don't like fall into the wrong. hands or like wrong situation. And also with fatigue, I feel that it is important to, of course, get the rest. And I'm going to say moon cycles. Archangel Haniel, notice the how does the moon affects your energy and manifestations and capitalize upon these cycles. So with fatigue, it can affect different areas. So again, with resting stage with the Six of Wands, there's something that is almost telling you that you need to try to relax or give yourself some TLC, like tender love and care. It could be either. Um, since I said that, either or even tending to other matters too if you can, or just give that indication that this is just because this is happening does not mean that I give up on other things. So sometimes it might feel that there's the fall behind from fatigue, and then you get like slower reaction times, and your accuracy feels like it's reduced, or um, your environment maybe you don't see or recognize certain changes, even though everything is changing around you. That's that influence of that like the way that your body's reacting, lapsing attention, and there's the nurturing card. Archangel Gabriel, as you nurture a child, you nurture your own inner child. It's interesting because like these are like really nurturing cards, and then like it's talking about a child, or you nurture your own inner child. Both activities are important for you right now. I'm not saying it has to do with children necessarily, but there could be somebody that you care for and even like baby at times, or there's like somebody that you like tend to. It could even be to yourself, but there's this specific card that I feel like it comes out for these readings a lot. Indigo and Crystal Children, and other Archangel Metatron. You have a bond with children in particular. You can help children who are sensitive. So it feels like there's a purpose for it. Also with fatigue, impaired communication, memory lapses, and I feel like that's the breather that comes from the Six of Wands being in the past. And even it's not surprising, like Temperance too. Temperance might be trying to give you a breather, even though there is just so much going on. Um, I feel like with that angel there, because it is one of those angelic cards in the traditional Rider Waite Smith imagery, you would see an angel there. So, and of course, decreased energy, needing to replenish yourself, because I it would be hard to keep going with the energy levels or the rate that it is right now. Even the Hutzel Tarot. The Hutzel Tarot, I feel like, because it's closer to the foundation of the Rider Waite Smith, of course, there's like the foundation for a lot of these decks of the Rider Waite Smith. It's like, in a way, more direct and can be seen as a little more blunt in some cases. I don't mind that, but I also have a tendency of having a really direct way of saying things sometimes. Um, I don't necessarily put a lot of sugar on some things, and a lot of times it can be coming out more vulgar than what it maybe somebody might be expecting. I feel that over time I kind of see that like, Adrian, well, maybe there's other ways that you can think about this or can say this instead of saying it this way or that way. But even with that, you have like the Ten of Swords. this reading felt a little more pivotal, or like um a different stage of the story where timeline where things naturally shift and it goes one way and then it goes another way. I feel like this shift is like part of the temperance where it kind of gets you like battle ready and it like allows those other opportunities that weren't there to kind of was getting dispersed. So there could be things that like come up and then kind of it's not spreading you thin, but it's almost like it's readying your environment. Kind of reminded me of like rettering, like something that I think you could like describe a a car function in those types of movements. Overall energy is the Ten of Pentacles. This was in the last reading too. And the last reading was kind of like, it feels like a loss of home. And it's interesting, this reading is like, there's no place like home. And it's almost a little bit, not too much of wishful thinking because there is going back to origin in a way, in that type of story and in that timeline, if you will, for this. You have, well, before I get to, well, no, life review, Archangel Dreamiel, another Archangel Dreamiel card. And then I had Archangel, as I said, Archangel Metatron. So take inventory of your life and resolve to change or heal energy, heal anything that is unbalanced. I was saying energy, so it could be energy too. And it's not surprising again with the Six of Wands because wands you can associate with energy. It like is life force. So for it to be saying that I like in class, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna like talk about class like all day. Like um the other day in class because we were doing math at that point and then after a while the professor's like, okay, you guys keep guessing, like you're just giving out random answers just to like give the answer. You're tired. We're gonna go to lab now because it's like to get that energy moving. And there's that refocus and needing to have that update of the type of invigoration that you're getting. So there's the gentleness. Archangel Saldafon, be very gentle with yourself at this time. Surround yourself with gentle people, situations, and environment. And it can also be with those changes that it's kind of like it happens and we just see it as something that absolutely no way that this could be this way or that way. And I say that like maybe if you're looking at a test or you're training or you're doing something in life in general, but like for a test and you're trying to find the answer, one of the things, it's not just knowing the answer because there could be chances when you look at a question and you don't know the answer. um, the other part of test taking is like using critical thinking so you can isolate the answer in the form of the process of elimination of things. This could be the processes of like completing tasks in life too. And it can be like the feeling of going in chronological order, where in order for this thing to happen, this thing needs to happen. And it feels like the Hanged Man. And the Justice card is here actually. When I did pick it up, there was like, I was trying to pick it up and then it kind of fell. It did fall off of the laptop and um, table tray that I have it on. And it was coming up a little reversed when I picked it up. And I'm not saying that something will come out reverse justice, but it does seem like, because this card has a sword and or knife, and then the rabbit is there. I think this was like one of the main imagery that I'm like, oh my god. Um, but there might have been some instances where those things happened where you saw that, or a lot of instances where you saw the injustice and the Hanged Man, where that was so vocal. I was gonna say vulgar and vocal and loud. The presence was just so evident that it just was like, um, it was almost making a stance, and it was making a stance, and it's just trying to cut that part of it where it releases those types of situations and tension and energy so that life itself can be how it was before, where it was like fulfilled, but when you move forward, stuff isn't how it was before. But you can still have those remnants, and some things just like kind of stay at what it is. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. And with the Hanged Man, it's like the interpretation of perspective too, because you're in suspension. It's also a stillness card too. A lot of times it's forced stillness when we want to move. And I feel like the Justice wants to move and the Justice wants to be there. But right now it's like, it's almost like, um, it's like Watership Down move or series on Netflix, where one of the rabbits like was trying to cut the trap, like the rope that was on his brother's neck, like the noose, is that what you call it? And was having a hard time of doing it in the time frame that he needed to, because um, the rabbit was having the reaction of continuously moving around, and as he was doing that, like things were tightening, and it might be the instance of, I need to, like life is forcing you to be still so that um, you don't pursue a life like that person that put you in the noose. It's still having that integrity behind it, and a lot of dignity that comes out of it too, that humans don't need to be monsters. Like humans don't fear humans, humans fear monsters. And um, that was interesting because that was like a quote from the, like the Dracula movie. I don't know which one, but uh, And Dracula's name is Vlad. So you have the Three of Cups here. And it does feel like the energy of like enjoying the simple things in life. And I didn't mention this before, but this is again the Ten of Swords, but it has also the Five of Swords, so it's kind of like split. Piat. Three, thread. Ooh, sorry, I don't have other places to, well, I can say them to practice, and I've been trying to practice. So this is the Nine of Coaches, Nine of Wands. Like I said, this feels a little battle ready because in other interpretations and in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith imagery, a lot of the decks are traditional Rider-Waite-Smith imagery. There are different formats, other formats too. But with this Nine of Wands, or the Nine of Wands in general, as I was saying, it can link to fatigue because you've gone this far and you haven't really gotten sleep. You haven't gotten that rest that is necessary um, to go forward. And also, I feel like when you do your rest, you can do what you're doing even to like even in its fullest capacity. Because I feel like the energy that it's giving is like 150%, but it's what's like kind of it's asking for it's like the energy of like 200%. The present is the Page of Wands, and the Page of Wands definitely seems like it is a high um new bolt burst of energy. I'm sorry, I keep like saying one word and then I say another word. Burst of energy. I was gonna say bolt. So there could be like different dictations of saying things too. Um, maybe one thing can be interpreted as another thing. And sorry, I'm looking at the Buckland Romani. That's the one that I am using in this reading, and I just love the deck. Like, I love this deck so much, and this is a a great production version of it because there's also the Russian one too. And like I'm not saying it like with one way or another for like decks in general, but that one specifically, I think it was, I don't know how else it would, I could say it to like consider it, but it's kind of like one of those black market type of things. Not black market, like it's not, it's like modified in a way where it's not in its in a pure form anymore. If you see the other deck, you'll know that it's not like it's definitely a dupe for what it's supposed to be is what I'm trying to say in all of those words. But I like just love the deck and I love the bag that I made for it. So I'm gonna pull out a couple more cards. And just because the Page of Wands is in the beginning stages, because it's like the Page Knight Queen and King, even though it has been going on for quite some time, there's still the feeling of the energy of the card. It's like when you're younger, you feel invincible, like you can handle and take on everything, and not realizing how much of a toll it could take on you. So I feel like there's a gentle reminder or tug from the Temperance card and even the Hanged Man card, to like force you to rest, because there's a lot more to do ahead, and there continuously is a lot to do. Like with the Ten of Wands, the Ten of Wands seems to be one that at this point we have in our lives. It's interestingly, it's like major arcanas are trying to like, it's almost like calming the rabbit. And of course, like if you had a noose on you, you would not feel, even though it's on a different area in that on the image, but of course it would be like one of those frantic energies where you're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Um, but it kind of like gives the energy of quicksand. Like we, instead of doing those things, it's trying to find the stillness in being still and finding solutions in that way. But there is, of course, movement. So there's the two pentacles here, and the Empress. Like, again, with the nurturing energies, Major Arcana, Justice Major Arcana, and Hangman, Temperance Star. There are quite a few, and it all just feels like it targets the Hanged Man. Um, it just seems like that like is kind of the focus. And with the Two of Pentacles, it does feel like one of those struggling cards where, like I said, quicksands, where I feel like the angels are trying to just stop you from having a panic attack, or um, there's like the reassurance or the maternal energy that comes from the Empress to tell you that um, you got this, or even like I got this, as if, you know, a mother defending their child type of energy. You have the Star card that comes out again, Major Arcana, with the Four of Cups. And it's interesting, as I said, with these back and forths of like, I know this is not what you want. I know this it's not something that you want to do. I know you'd rather be doing other things. I know you want your life to be something else or somewhere else, or like their energy of no place like home. But I'm telling you that I'm trying to give you this opportunity for this revitalization, or like the Phoenix energy. I mean, cups, that's water, but there's something that is trying to make sure that you don't burn out. Because if you burn out, then it causes like even like a, even more problems than with the Ten of Swords. I'm sorry. Since I said Ten of Swords, it could link to the Ten of Swords. like you feel that your brain is like fogging up from just not being able to be alert or to have that attention because there's the fatigue that comes from it. Um, the Ten of Swords is being affected by the Ten of Wands, and it does feel like, again, a continuous energy of there's a lot of things to do. Like, there's so much things to do. That's like one of the main things that I get from this reading. But the star with the Four of Cups, it, again, with the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith imagery, it does give you the Divine Cup because there's three cups, and the fourth cup is given like randomly. It's this one that looks different from the others. It's like a larger one, and it's coming from like a hand that is coming out of nowhere, like the sky, like a cloud with the hand and stuff. And with the Four of Cups, it looks like maybe a husband and wife, and the husband is like looking at these cups for some reason and could be some type of conflict there or emotion where it might seem like this is so frustrating, and then the wife comes in to give this other one, and it's almost like she's saying this can be okay, or even when everything's happening, because like the justice card seems like it's angry about the hanged man, and there's just like continuous pressure on it in order to break that rope. But I do feel like there's so much about this reading that gives you the softness and like the gentleness that might be the something to that makes things feel better. So I do feel like there's something that can prosper and be like genuine and have the heart and cup energy that is from the obstacle back into your life, and to make it more um, as part of the foundation too, and to build on that so it becomes stronger. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in another video.